Hello everyone and welcome to part 2 of another What I Think mega review for the B&M Doctor Who sets for November 2022, and today we're going to be looking at the new creation of the Dalek set featuring Davros and a Dalek from Genesis of the Daleks. Now, interestingly, there's definitely a few interesting bits I want to talk about on the box with this, as you can see already from just looking at it. But first things first, I want to just raise a point of saying, at the time of recording and upload of this video, this set has been described as pretty much a sort of one-off. I don't think it is. This is just purely my own speculation, I want to make it clear, just from what I've read from press releases and other things like that. I don't think it is off the cards that there could be other Davros sets. As some of you may know, I previously did a video showing a sort of history of Davros kind of set idea, which I would have liked to have seen. But as far as I'm aware, at present time, this is very much a one-off, which is why it's had a little bit more sort of production put into it in terms of the box and everything else. So yeah, in terms of Davros sets, I don't think we're going to get any others, but I certainly hope to be proved wrong, if I'm being perfectly honest, because I would absolutely love to see some more Davros sets. But for now, you know, really pleased to have this. It's definitely going to be one that's going to be very popular, not just for the Dalek, but also obviously, of course, for Davros. But we have some new and interesting features in this set as well. But first things first, the box. Overall, obviously, it's gone back to the sort of original box style with the background custom insert and the plastic box front. You know, obviously it does raise questions as to why they've done it for this set, but they haven't done it for the history of the Dalek sets, or continuing to do it for the history of the Dalek sets. As I said, I'd imagine with this being very much a sort of one-off, they've put a little bit more money into this, but you know, this really does, I think, draw home how much better the sets look like this, you know, in comparison to the newer sort of history of the Daleks, you know, design of not having the plastic on the front and just, you know, just the bubble sort of pack in the back. You know, the custom backdrop is a nice addition, but, you know, as I've said before in previous videos, for the history of Dalek sets, I'd happily give those up if it meant we had the proper you know, insert of the plastic insert and the plastic on the outside of the box. So it is worth noting that. But I will say as well that if CO did decide to do a kind of, you know, history of Davros sort of set, and they went back to having these sorts of style boxes, this is something that I would have said would be a great idea for a character options exclusive ongoing range, just purely because they could put a bit more money into doing the box as they wish to do it, and, you know, actually having, you know, the proper inserts and things like that, and having all of the proper backdrop and things in there as well. You know, I think it would be really good. So, you know, I do want to put that in there, that I think it's a good avenue of opportunity for them. But, you know, for now, I'm just happy to have this, you know, this set, even if it is just a one-off. Obviously, inside the box, we've got the backdrop as well. If I turn the box around, very, very basic information on here for this one. You know, we haven't got any pictures of the figures or anything themselves, and the information is just about the episode. You know, in terms of that, there doesn't seem to be sort of any kind of behind-the-scenes information necessarily. There's a little bit, you know, where it talks about the episode, you know, the appearance where the Daleks appear in it. So there's a sort of semi behind the scenes kind of thing, but not as much as there has been previously. But yeah, it's a nice set. You know, really pleased that with the box. You know, the box has gone back to the sort of old style that I'm going to call it now. Yeah, but let's get into having a look at what we've got inside the box. So of course for this set we once again have another custom backdrop insert. This is the sort of Skaro firing range, where we sort of first see the Dalek in the episode. Obviously we've got the open backdrop there, we've obviously got a bit of wall on the side, and then on this side we've got this ring thing. I can't quite work out what it is. I think it's quite dark. I think that's meant to be the outline of a target figure, and then that's the target on them. I can't see any sort of little hidden features or hidden extras on here, which I know they've had before. It would have been maybe, Well, you know, this is the thing. I'm going to turn around and say this now. It would have been maybe nice if we could have had like Sarah Jane poking her head out from behind there or something. But at the end of the day, that is, you know, that is just an idea off the top of my head, a preference. You know, I'm not gonna be too critical on that sort of thing, because at the end of the day, I'm just happy that we've got this sort of custom backdrop in this set. You know, it's a fantastic thing to have, and you know, added little extras like that are always just something nice. But you know, I'm not going to take marks off or seem like I'm overly criticising something that at the end of the day is an extra, a fantastic extra, but it's, you know, it's an extra that we're very lucky to have. But let's get on to having a look at the figures. So first up here we have the Davros figure. Very nice, love a good Davros figure. So in terms of on this, obviously it's basically, as far as I can tell, the same as the original figure. You know, he's got the articulation in his hand and in his arm, elbow, bicep, and then on this side as well, if we bring him round and you press this little roundel, he does have his little side panel which pops off, and you can see the detail of his chair in there. But overall, the actual Davros figure itself has some interesting changes from the original version, and as luck would have it, I'm in the position where I do have an original version here to do a comparison. So overall, it's sort of, at first glance, maybe not the easiest thing to notice, but there are some very subtle changes. So his head wires are black. The detailing on the face, the newer version, has much more sort of weathering on the face to make those details stand out a bit more. There's also more weathering on the hands. You've got weathering on the edge of the base as well. If I turn them round slightly, you can see that the head brace on the back is slightly sort of more of a brighter blue on the new version. And if we look at the chair detailing as well, you can see that there are some if I just move his arm up, sorry, you can see that there are some changes to the detailing on the chair. Obviously some of the switches are a little bit more sort of defined and painted, but obviously on the back piece on here you can see we've got a nice clear sort of orange on this piece, whereas on this one it was painted just pure yellow. Obviously he's got his throat mic and things in there as well. So overall the figure is the same as the original release. It's just got a bit more detailing and definition to it, but again, it's a really nice one to have. I actually have to say, I think I do prefer the revised version over the original. I'm still going to keep the original one, obviously, for obvious reasons, but yeah, the new version definitely superior to the original release, I think, in terms of Davros. Don't have much more to say about the Davros figure, but you know, in a good way I mean that, because it's a great looking figure. You know, all the articulations there that you want, everything else is there that you want, and I really don't have anything bad to say about it. You know, it really is a really nice figure. So let's get on to having a look at the Dalek. So here we have the new Dalek. First things first, the paintwork on this, I have to say, is absolutely phenomenal. It's got more of a sort of brownish grey, which makes it stand out compared to anything else that we've seen up to this point, or at least I've seen up to this point. I don't have the other Dalek sets yet, so I don't know if the Daleks that are going to be in those are going to have the same colour scheme, but this one just really does look absolutely fantastic. Obviously it's got the new slat sculpt as well. We've got a nice bit of weathering on the base, but it is the gun boxes and the arm and gun that have the newest feature on these, because obviously, as well as moving around as they normally do, they also come out, which then has these little sort of dishes on the inside, and along with this it comes with two, I've only got one out here, but it comes with two of these little accessories which can be plugged into the back of either the gun and the arm to give it this kind of disconnected wire, which can then either be put in the hand of a character to hold, or the little box bit can or will fit and balance slightly. Whoops, it will balance. I had it a minute ago and now I can't do it. Will balance into the figure, so it can be made to look as if it's being pulled out or having come out, or as if it's being fitted in. I believe that the Toys R Us Dalek from 2013 with the 4th Doctor had this feature. I unfortunately don't have one of those to hand to check to see if it was exactly the same, but I know that the gun was removed on that one, and from what I've heard, I believe that it can be reattached in the same way. So I don't know if I'm pretty sure this little accessory is a new sculpt piece, but I'm not sure if the gun and the arm are completely new to this set. Obviously, they've got the peg hole in the back, which would lead me to believe that they are new, but maybe they are retoolings of ones that were perhaps in the Toys R Us set. I don't know, as I said. But in terms of comparing it to another Genesis Dalek, I do have here the original release of the Genesis Dalek, which again, you can see the paint difference in this one. I really need to dust these figures before I put them on screen. Yes, aside from that, as you can see, it's got a much more sort of, you can see the colour difference between the paints. I really do like this updated variant. I don't know if it's as close in terms of the paintwork to how it actually was on screen. I think this one probably is closer to what we're seeing on screen, but I love this updated colour scheme. I think it looks really, really good. It is something that's a bit more different and unique. And I think it does just work. It works really well and really does look the part, for this particular Genesis Dalek from this particular story. And just finally here we have the gun removed with the accessory attached, and obviously Davros holding it, so you can see how it sort of looks all together. Yeah, I think this is an absolutely fantastic set. This is definitely going to be, I think, one of the big sellers, and I hope it sells well enough for Character Options to consider doing something like this again in future with other Davros sets, because I certainly think they would be popular. With the, as I said, I haven't got these ones yet, but with, for example, the Destiny set that we're getting with the History of the Dalek set, I know that some people were disappointed that the bomb version of the Dalek wasn't included. So, certainly if they did another Davros set, they did an updated an updated version of Davros with that bomb Dalek, it would absolutely definitely sell. It really would be one that I think people would just leap at. So I hope that this isn't just going to be a one-off. I really do. Even if it means we're not going to see any other Davros sets, I think doing the Destiny one would just be a brilliant idea, because it would be the one that the people would love to see the most. But yeah, it's a fantastic set, definitely one well worth getting in this particular range of releases. But that brings to a close another What I Think review for part 3. We're going to be looking at the First Doctor and TARDIS set, but that brings to a close this video, as always. I hope you all enjoyed this video. Like, favorite, subscribe, share, it really helps me out a lot, and be sure to description below for a link to my Patreon. I'm doing my very first figure animation, and you can get involved. There's exclusive content and rewards for those who do so, and friending my Patreon in any way gets your name at the end of my videos. I salute you all, and I will see you with another video very soon.